moving, doing that exercise that everybody, literally our bodies, were designed to do. But this is the MX3. It's a walking pad and foldable treadmill. Goes from 0 to 7.5 miles an hour. And what that means for you is that you can use this in different ways. It's multifunctional. You can use it under your desk. It can be a walking pad. When you're in meetings and you're sitting there for 2 hours, you could actually be moving your body. Same when you're watching your favorite show. But if you are maybe in a house with someone with a different level of fitness, you just want to get a few steps in, maybe your partner is somebody who runs, this does both. It goes up to 7.5 miles an hour. It's adjustable to your height. If, like my mum, who's had both her knees replaced, you're a bit wobbly on your feet, it also has handrails. And here's the thing. Maybe you've downsized, you're living in an apartment. This has a brushless motor, which means it is whisper, whisper, quiet. 45-star reviews on QVC.com, but here's the real story. This is the lowest price we have ever offered on this. It's a phenomenal price. It's a phenomenal saving. The comparable retail value on this is $1,000, but you are paying just $599.98. 5 easy payments of $120 will get this home, and it ships to you for free. And we even have special financing on this as well for 12 months on the Q card. So it's another way that you can shop, and that brings that payment even lower to just $50 a month. We're going to talk options because we do have different colors available in this, and then we're going to get moving. So the one that I'm on right now, this is the silver. So remember, obviously the body of it is black, but you can see at the bottom and the rails, this is the silver. Then we also have it available in the gold. This is your gold option. So really just think about where you're going to put this. Is it in the conservatory? Is it in the home office? Is it in the dining room that maybe you don't dine in anymore? And then over here with my glamorous assistant slash model, we also have it available in the black. So those are your color options: silver, gold, and black. This is going to ship to you for free, and it's $120 on 5 easy pay. And I'd love to introduce Carrie. Carrie Whiteman is joining us. She's a fitness instructor since 1997, and you've been here for how long at QVC?
14 years.
Wow, I bet that time has just gone.
It has. It's just, we're all part of this QVC family, and when you're here, you don't even realize you're doing what you love, because fitness is a passion of mine.
Yes.
And Mel, I'm going to talk about a really important word today during this hour, and it's consistency. So Kingsmith, let me just first share, Kingsmith created this amazing treadmill for all of you. For our QVC family, they wanted to create space in your home with a treadmill, so now we can fold it up and then use it in 2 ways, as a walking pad and then as a running treadmill. So it's really unique because technology is still built into this treadmill. You have the ability to really get a good sweat at 7.5 miles per hour. But then as I'm going for a slow walk, I want to start with that word consistency. And that for all of you folks that are just literally dusting off the winter or getting out of hibernation, there is that element of where do I start? And walking is the #1 form of exercise because we all walk. So weather and circumstances change us from actually being able to really exercise. But you can walk outside, and then you can also walk while you work. We can work now and work out at the same time.
I love that idea. Okay, so you were going to help me get started. So let's come over. So I've just ordered this, and I'm going to clip myself in so that I'm safe. Now I've definitely in the gym had got distracted and whizzed off a treadmill. So this is that all-important clip yourself on. So
safety pin.
This is safety.
And I'm going to show everybody. So this is where I'm going to take out this safety pin right here. And one thing with Kingsmith is it doesn't matter what the treadmill is. All right, they have a lot of treadmills. Since 2015, they've been developing treadmills. This is actually a safety pin that this treadmill will not work unless it is plugged in. And then for everybody, I want you to understand, clipping this on is that safety key that if we get distracted, because these treadmills now, you can walk and work. So if you're distracted and you're like, oh, I'm losing my step, it will just automatically shut off. You also have the handrails, which, by the way, this is really where I want to say this treadmill is 3-in-1 because it's a walking pad. Then, and you can bring the handles down, just make it a walking pad. Then you can create a nice way for you to get a workout, like a power walk, a nice little, like, you know, brisk walk with holding onto the handles.
I like to hold the handles sometimes.
I love
I don't know, because I feel like I'm focusing more on my lower body. If I'm just walking, I like to have the handrails.
And then you also have the ability to then, if I turn this off, which is really the way we get started, it comes right out of the box, Mel, and when it comes out of the box, everybody, it's already ready and ready to go. You plug it in, you turn on your treadmill, and really this is where I want to show you guys, we have, this is the remote that probably needs a new battery. So in terms of live television, we're going to get a new battery on this.
Yeah.
So now I want to also speak to this tread. We have these nice little absorb little footies on the bottom that take all of the shock out of every stride. So whether you're walking or running, you're able to really feel that nice cushion, which is different than walking on pavement. And then the rollers. You can see the rollers, everybody. This is why I love the thought of being able to take a treadmill, fold it up, and roll it and store it.
Well, and to your point, you know, a lot of us live in neighborhoods where there aren't even sidewalks to kind of walk. So it can be more challenging to think, well, yeah, I want to get out, but I need to drive somewhere to walk there. When you're picking up on the Kingsmith, you've got the ability to walk whenever you think about it. You know, when we think about binging, you know, binge watching, there's a guilt associated with it because we know I'm not doing anything. You could be watching your favorite show, and how quickly, when you're binging an episode of a good show, does time pass? Like, come on, let's be real. Or when you're watching QVC. But you can be moving at the same time. And, you know, suddenly the guilt that you once had is now something where you feel empowered. And I love what you said about consistency, because I was a behavior change coach before this. So really helping people build goals and starting small, because most of us want, oh, I'll do an hour a day. It's like, no. Start with 10 minutes a day. Build the habit, or 10 minutes, you know, 10 minutes 3 times a week, and then you can increase the time. But just starting to get your body moving, this is the way to be able to do it at the lowest price we've ever offered. Your easy pay is $120. It's going to ship to you for free. And if that still feels like, ugh, you know, maybe you didn't have the refund from the IRS you were hoping for, or you owe them money, then think about using the Q card, because that's going to take that payment down to $50 a month. You can spread that cost with special financing across a year, but get yourself moving and, you know, get that heart, lungs moving and really start to make a difference, because it's the whole if not now, then when. We can all think, oh, someday is not on the calendar.
Well, I'm going to have you, Mel, because I did this with Rick the other day.
Sam.
I mean, Sam, I'm so sorry.
No, do you know what? That happens to me a lot, though. It's like if anyone ever calls me a name, it's Mel, and she's a really good friend of mine.
Unbelievable. So, Sam, I'm going to have you step on here.
Oh, you're going to have me step on that one?
You're going to walk and show everybody, because what happens is, you know, a lot of times when we're actually, you know, here we go. We're going to take this out. We're going to put this back in. And then we're going to use the remote and get this party started. Get you right on. And I'm going to have everybody kind of see how when I turn this off, and then I turn this back on, and the remote control, we're going to get this puppy going. We're actually going to show just how easy it is for it to do. It typically does
I can put my card here. Oh,
exactly.
lovely.
And you can actually put your phone right here.
Hang on, I'm get rid of this bit.
On the console. So the countdown, and I'm going to see, okay, there's something going on with the Bluetooth. So it does sync up with Bluetooth. And for some reason...
Are these the solar flares I've been reading about in the paper, that we're going to have all these solar flares? Suddenly the technology is not working for us today.
And that's part of life. But also I want to share that we can see the writing.
Yeah.
And here, Sam, with that writing, when I have been working at home and literally looking down and saying, I cannot believe I just walked and I got 3,000 steps in. And I was going at such a slow pace. So that slow pace, and we're going to go back and forth on these treadmills, is so funny, because this is where you have the ability to just go for that stroll. And it adds up. Just like Sam was saying, it's going to add up every little step. And then that remote control goes right here. But as Sam is doing this, I want to share that this is 89 pounds, so it is substantial. But then also with the wheels, okay? The wheels is what makes this really possible. You can see how slender it is. You fold it up, and then I'm rolling this now into maybe the sunroom, maybe the family room, maybe my office. And that's the possibility of all of us having hybrid schedules or working primarily from home. Maybe time is just really an issue to ever get to the gym. So when you actually think about it, if you got on your treadmill in 10 minutes in the morning to kind of get yourself going, and then at the end of your day just to kind of decompress, that's 20 minutes you may not have gotten if you had to drive somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we have the controls here, which is distance, time, calories, and of course your speed. So the speed will always go up to wherever you want. Now, we also have the speed up, which is in the front. Then we have the constant speed, which is in the center of the treadmill. And then the slow down, which again, Kingsmith, the brand we trust here at QVC, is thinking about, well, if you get to the back of that treadmill, I want you to slow down.
Yeah.
And it will do that automatically. The constant speed is exactly where Sam is with her hands on the bars. And this is really nice because that's that constant, okay, I'm comfortable here. And then up front is that speed. This horsepower is just like the horsepower where I do teach classes at the gym still.
Yeah.
I love being
and
part of
you look like you teach classes at the gym.
I love being part of the community.
Yeah, so one of the things I noticed about this is when you are in the gym, you know, sometimes I actually don't go to the gym in my building because the machines are so noisy, and it's like, well, I want to come and relax. Yeah, and there's this super loud. This is so quiet. So tell us about the motor.
Well, the horsepower is, of course, nearly silent brushless motor, which makes a big difference, but it's hard to do with a home fitness unit, with a treadmill especially. So that experience will give it that quiet, that really easy, smooth stride, and it just will not allow that noise to be made like other treadmills that I know exactly what you're talking about. I go to these smaller places around this area, and I still am training clients. And so when we go into their gyms where they live in their actual like buildings, those gyms are so noisy, not from the television. Yeah. It's from the pounding. Yeah.
Well, also, I feel like it is also how some people run.
That's so true.
They're thudding away on there. But
so
actually, speaking of that, in terms of weight, like what weight will this take up to?
265 pounds. And then also when it comes to height, I can tell you, I mean, I've been very fortunate to have my daughter part of my fitness journey, my health journey.
And she's over there.
And she's over there. And she's going to literally model this because she loves this treadmill so much. So the height, of course, when she was younger, I could speak to that. But now she's a good old 5'6". So we're talking 4'11", 4'10", up to 6'4", 6'5" with the heights. But you can see that here is the magic. Being able to lift the bars up, being able to actually turn the handles around, you're able to customize this to your height. And with Kingsmith really looking after our QVC family, and I've also been selling treadmills on QVC for many years, this hands down has been my favorite. And I can speak to this because of every single step I take reminds me of the no impact I'm getting compared to the impact I get when I'm on the concrete.
Yeah, it feels so different. Like it feels soft. Like when I think about my mum, like my mum's had both knees replaced. She has arthritis in her spine. She has a lot of chronic pain issues, so she tends to not move. And I know a lot of that is the pain. And whereas this, it's like walking on air.
That shock absorption technology is where that fiber is really coming into play with how we make this at Kingsmith. So it has that water resistance layer, of course, the EVA cushion, which is going to absorb every single step, and then the traction and the anti-static running belt. All of that combined in this nice foldable under desk or running treadmill is tucked away, but it gives the experience of, I can do this in my 80s. I can do this in my 90s, and I speak to that because mom's 83, dad's 91. I will be driving to see them shortly.
Oh,
and I can't wait. And guess what they're doing tomorrow night?
Going for a walk? No?
They're having a party with 40 people at their house. Shing ding, shing ding.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so fun because this is what they've been consistent with. So Sam, that word consistency is always going to be one that I can say proudly, I've helped more and more people here at QVC for 14 years say, you know what, I like walking, I just can't do it every day because of the weather.
Yeah.
So that takes out the problem.
Well, and to your point, like when I was coaching, all winter people, oh, I can't walk. And then as soon as it hits summer, guess what? You can't walk again because it's too humid or it's too hot, unless you're getting up really early. Picking up on Kingsmith, this is the MX3. It's a walking pad. It's a foldable treadmill. You can use this when